Welcome back to the Wardroom. I just want to take a minute to thank everybody who tuned in to our pilot episode last week. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to learn about our group. Today, we're going to spend some time fully introducing and getting to know the USCS leadership. Returning from last week are going to be the Commodore and Chief of Staff, as well as myself, naturally. This week, we're going to be introducing the USCS Continental Marine leadership in the form of Eclipse, the Commandant, and Assistant Commandant Henry.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So, we received some feedback on last episode, specifically related to some audio troubles we had. Please bear in mind, this is our first time ever recording and utilizing this software. Parrish, can you provide some in-depth on kind of the troubles we faced?
Yeah, I think one of the main things was in Discord. There's different volumes you can set for different people. Some people's volumes might have been set a little higher, but that's my fault. Either way, I've used DaVinci Resolve and OBS to try to tweak things, and we'll make it happen.
Awesome, awesome. Well, with that out of the way,
Parrish.
was that Wolf?
Huh?
We love your effort, Parrish.
Yes,
I'm
we
trying.
appreciate your effort. Parrish is the only one that has the uh, patience to learn all that stuff.
Yep.
So, with that out of the way, let's jump into the conversation here. We're going to take some time getting to know the leaders of the United States Caribbean Squadron. You've heard from Commodore Wolf and myself briefly in our history with the group in the last episode. Let's hear from the last members of the Big Three. Our own Chief of Staff, Parrish, the magic maker behind the scenes. So, Parrish, how did you first hear of Ahoy?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen the trailer on YouTube. Or I was like looking up sailing games on Steam, and I was like, oh wait, look at that, and found the trailer.
Yeah. Well, after you found of Ahoy and you joined the Discord, what made you look at USCS? Because you're American, you would shed some light on that for us if you could.
Absolutely, because I'm American, yeah. No, in Ahoy, you do the Five Nations, clicked on the United States, ran through a couple of them, but the only one that actually stood out was the USCS, so it's like, because I want to be in like a naval, like, role play thing, so, and here we are.
Yeah, yeah. So you started off at the bottom of the ranks as a regular rank and file member of our group. And now you find yourself third in command, chief of staff, in charge of officers for the USCS. Can you explain how you did it, what your driving factor is, how and why you wanted to take this role?
Yeah, sure. So like someone mentioned earlier, the patience I have is overwhelming. So I'm able to like dedicate certain amount of time to help develop things. I know like when I first got here, I was in the Marines. So I was like trying to figure out how to get things going, get to know people. I had an interest in developing the way there's like looks in the Discord works, like developing our rank icons, and eventually ended up doing like the SOPs and the roster. That was a big thing. The roster. Oh my god.
Your brainchild. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, Ahoy, we just got the gameplay. We're going to talk about that later. What do you personally want to see? What's your make or break for Ahoy?
Make a break. So I've played Naval Action. I'm sure it's 90% of the crowd from Ahoy. But the make or break is the actually being able to be that individual on the ship, making it sail, Like,
Yeah.
Naval Action had the tacking and combat in like actual PvP or PvE zones, but when you're going across the map, it's arcadey, and I think Ahoy is gonna fill that void for me, so that'll make or break it.
Of course, of course. All right. Well, is there anything you want to add? Anything you want to tell us about yourselves? Tell our listeners.
No, can figure it
All
out.
right. Well, that wraps up the big three leaders. Now that that's out of the way, let's introduce for the first time in the Wardroom the Continental Marine leadership. Mr. Eclipse, let's start with you. So, I'm aware that you've known Wolf for a while. I'm not sure if you were exactly here during the beginning of USCS, but what led you into Ahoy? What led you to our group?
It was mostly like Commodore Wolf sent me a link, actually a Steam link about Ahoy, and I just kind of looked into it. And before that, I was playing Naval Action, all those sailing games are really big,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of got me into it. Plus my own personal fascination with the Age of Sail. And then he spoke about this server, and I just kind of joined. I was want to hang out with other people because he really convinced me. And then I got the position on Commandant because it was open, and here we are.
Well, that first DM, that first Steam link, did you think it was going to turn into what it is now? Did you ever see it getting this big?
To be honest, no, but I'm really happy it has.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was just going to be like a little gaming group for it. I was like, oh, this is cool. You know, some new people to hang out with. And it was like, boom, now we have a lot more people.
So the Continental Marines. I know open world isn't confirmed. Arena is going to be Ahoy's bread and butter when the game releases. Tell us a bit about what the Marines' role is on these ships.
Yeah, so the main thing with Marines is obviously they're more of like the hand-to-hand or rifle or sword combat, like anti-boarding, boarding, but they could also operate cannons in a way. Because there's some famous instances of Marines in like crow's nest sniping people. That's a big thing. Like Admiral Lord Nelson. That's
Mhm.
a historical example. So we just kind of were the grunts on the ship to protect it.
So, what would you like to see in Ahoy specifically catering to the Marines? Would you like to see? I know we recently, not recently, but we had passed a Kickstarter goal allowing siege combat on islands. Is there anything like hold fast, any gameplay mechanic that you are specifically looking forward to for the Marines?
Yeah, the main thing I'm looking for is the actual landing action because that's a big thing with the Marines. Um, which games like Holdfast, like you said, do get. Um, but I would just mainly like to see that, and then the process of breaking down or breaking into said fortifications.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
either way, with integration with the Navy when it comes to bombardment and stuff like that. I think it'd be pretty cool if we could have like a pretty fleshed out landing sequence.
Yeah. Well, the last thing I have, Ahoy's not out yet. Sea Trials not out yet. USCS, we don't force members in their activity. So activity could be a little hard to maintain. Are you experiencing any troubles with the Marines? What plans do you have when Ahoy drops?
So right now we're just kind of doing events that are Marine specific, either hold fast. Last one we did was Ready or Not. Uh, it's just kind of like to hang out because we're just really chilling until Ahoy really comes out, which will be sometime. But once Ahoy is out, we do plan on working, especially with you Navy guys, to like do events together, do something
Yep,
together.
yep.
So that's mainly what I'm looking for is just working together on that as well.
Does anybody else here have any questions they want to ask the Commandant? Commandant, do you have anything you would like to tell us about yourself?
Nope. You
All
could always
right.
ask me.
Last but not least, yes, open up wide as a chest.
Ooh. I want your social security number. I want your
Okay, whoa,
nose
whoa,
game.
whoa.
Hey. I'll be
Mike just
expecting
said
that in my
Eclipse is
DMs.
sweaty. at
I'm
Hold
not
Fast.
sweaty at Holdfast. This is false allegation.
I tend to believe Buck. But anyway,
I with Buck with all that.
last but not least, our newest addition to the USCS leadership, Mr. Henry. Let's hear a little bit about our new face here. So, Mr. Henry, Assistant Commandant Henry, how did you personally hear of Ahoy?
Well, I was scrolling on YouTube and I got this video about a new game called Ahoy and I started watching it.
Running theme.
And And it instantly hooked me, and so I decided I'll go look for the Discord, and I found it, and I was like, let's make sure it's not like a scam or anything, and they
Yep,
proved
yep.
they weren't. So I stuck around in the Discord for a while and listening. That's how I learned about Hohoy.
So were you always interested in this time period, Age of Sail?
I would say, yeah, back when I was a kid. It's going to sound childish, but what really got me to Age of Sails was Pirates of the Caribbean series. It is like that's what it set it
Yep.
off, and then like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Masters and Commanders, those kind of movies and games kept going, and like Sea of Thieves was the last game I played that was Age of Sail, but you know how Sea of Thieves
Yeah,
is
yeah.
kind of cartoonish, not really for
I don't
mature
think that's
audience.
childish at all. I grew up watching the same movies. I grew up loving Pirates of the Caribbean, watching them in theaters, coming home and playing out in the backyard thinking I was Jack Sparrow. We all had that. We all had that point in our life.
Yeah, I'm sure we've all held a jar of dirt, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, Brad, for giving me an
got a
idea
jar
for
of
tomorrow's
dirt.
question of the day.
Yeah,
Would you hold a jar of dirt?
I have done that.
If you liked Pirates of the Caribbean as a child, did that relate to you liking Ahoy?
Or which one?
Yeah.
Which one? That will create some heated debate.
At
Oh,
World's
yeah.
End, yeah.
World's
Yep.
End, yep, that was
Yep,
the best.
yep.
Who would have guessed?
So, you started at the literal bottom of our group. You were the newest addition to the leadership. You joined our group, I would say, not at the beginning, but after a couple months of us existing.
Yep.
And you climbed. How did you climb? Can you provide some insights to other people that might want to gain leadership roles and want to mimic your steps? How would you give them advice?
I would say it takes time. Like it's been like months before I even like got to this rank. I started at the way bottom, and then I started as a Navy guy, but then I got attracted to the Marines, so I joined the Marines and just like playing games with like Wolf and Eclipse, just playing games and like and just being involved is how I rose through the ranks. And
So you would say activity is really important.
oh yeah, definitely. Activities like just being involved is like the main thing. Like games, just chatting, or just like doing like Wolf said, the daily questions, voting on different things. It's how I personally think of how I got to this rank.
You're
So
also
all
the
you-
war dreadnought.
Yeah.
I mean, after all,
All
this is
you
like a gaming
midshipmens out
community,
there.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have been relying on Henry a lot for our 40k discussions since he's the big 40k nerd and he's been
I
teaching
am
a
the
lot.
biggest.
No, God, don't even.
I'm like a teacher at the front of the desk. I'm like, all right, this is what you ask a
Yes,
question. I'll
yeah.
respond to it.
You are the one asking about the homework.
Yep.
Still waiting on those figures,
Oh.
by the way.
Still,
Well,
yeah.
Oh God, I have them built. I just haven't
So-
gotten around to
Parrish
them.
is in the house. Yeah, come on,
They're
man.
looking right at me.
Mr. Henry here.
Pile of
What are
shame.
you most looking forward to, and what are you most nervous about in Ahoy?
I would say what really I'm interested in is open world, because we haven't had a game like Ahoy or the promised open world. Like there's no game like it. But that's what I want to see. Like CA Trials and Arena, those are interesting. I'm looking forward to them. But like end product for me is the open world. And what's kind of got me all nervous is like, as like they said, it's a big thing. Like no one's ever done it before, and it's like, what if they can't keep their promises? If it's a
Uh-huh.
scam? But like this new journal entry, it took away most of that like
Massive,
fear and
massive.
whatnot. Yeah, like they showed an actual product instead of like just they used their actions instead of just words. Is what got me.
I think
Like,
everybody
was
kind of was
fair.
nervous about that. You know, how many thousands of dollars have been donated without any concrete, this is happening.
I think
A
it's
screenshot here, a screenshot there.
like $890,000 US.
Yeah,
Close to a
insane.
million.
600,000 pounds.
Insane.
And note how far back some of those screenshots go to, like, I think it was maybe 2020. We had some old screenshots of like the HUD and what they were hoping to do.
Yeah, yeah, the
It's
vision.
just a long time.
Oh yeah.
So the last question I have for you, Henry, we have a Commandant. What role do you think, again, I know
No
the game's
way.
not out yet, what role do you think the Assistant Commandant will play, and what's your vision as the Assistant Commandant when the game releases?
Probably it's like I'll be his second in command. I'll give him advice of like strategies of what to do, where to place Marines and all that, and just be like a voice on his shoulder, giving him suggestions, and then also stopping him from strangling the Commodore.
I'll do
Zero
that
promises.
regardless.
There's no promises there. Good luck, Henry. That is an uphill battle.
That's probably going to be my main job.
You'll never win. Hoorah.
Does anybody else have any questions for Henry before we move on?
No.
No? All right.
Oof.
So,
What's the meaning of life?
I
good
can't
luck.
We don't got time for that. I'm sorry.
No, we don't. All
Yeah,
right.
you guys want to
So,
go on?
we're going to move past the introductions. Thank you, gentlemen, for introducing yourselves. Our listeners, now you have met the leadership for our group. So, let's pivot to the biggest news in Ahoy thus far. The long-awaited gameplay teaser, trailer, footage. It could go by different words depending on who's talking about it. We've all read the journal, at least hopefully all of us have, and their new fancy website. What's our first impression, Parrish?
I think the new website looks great. Honestly, I'm a big guy of like technology and all that and websites. It looks good, so I can't wait to explore like the personal when they up like the profiles and see how that all works.
Yep.
The new Kickstarter or however to upgrade things. So, yeah, it's curious. But
Do note that the website's still under progress right now. They still don't have some features that they're hoping for.
yeah.
Yeah.
In due time. In due time.
Yes.
But no, I do like the layout, especially the way the ships tab works. Nice overview of a great picture of the ship. I'm sure they'll eventually expand on that to have like statistics and whatever once they figure all that out. But the big thing, the Bumblebee video. Okay. Massive. Everyone's been waiting for some sort of gameplay, and yeah, that was it. But my God, it was amazing. I'm sure we'll talk more about that.
Yeah. Wolf, is there anything you'd like to add?
I get scared by a lot of words, so when I hit a journal, I'm just like, okay, that's a lot of reading to do, and then I just scroll through quickly to see the pictures, as I'm very much a visual learner.
Picture book. Yep.
Yeah. I'd fare well with Continental Marines. But yeah, I enjoyed watching the videos, just seeing the fact that they had something to go off of, and I hope it pulls in a lot more people to actually try and support now, because I know a lot of the talk back in June and July last year was, oh, I'm going to wait until I see gameplay before I support. Well, here's some gameplay. Are you going to support now?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that myself. Now, do you have any worries about this new video, this new website? Anything that comes to mind that could run into a snag?
Where do I send more money? I need that, Tyler. Please add that to the website. I want to give you more money.
You need help.
That's what I'm saying. Let me give you my money.
Concerns? I mean, I've been reading through what people have been saying in the Ahoy server, but they seem to be very much on top of fixing any errors that they've had. I think it's just a great way of going forward, trying to be as transparent as possible.
Yeah. Eclipse, Henry, do you guys have anything to add?
I would say you go first.
No.
One at a time.
Oh,
One at a time.
You're the boss. You go first.
All right. Yeah, one thing I like Wolf said with the transparency, you don't see that with a lot of other development companies, and it's a pain sometimes, especially like new ones like Ahoy that are still in development. But I hope they maintain this like into when the game releases, where like especially during sea trials, because that's going to be like their main test bed. First time other people will play like that. So, yeah, I just hope they maintain that transparency.
Henry?
Going off was like what Wolf said about people waiting until there's gameplay. That's how I was. I was seeing all these games companies like make these games with so much money and then them just flopping. It's like I want to see gameplay before I donated money. And as like seeing all the videos, I'm like, yep, I'm sorry, Wallet, time to pay up. It's how I see it.
Yeah, yeah. So not everything recently has been smooth sailing for Capstan. For those that missed it, it seems that they had suffered a malicious code recently attack on their old, what do you want to call it? IP? Their old website?
Domain.
Ooh.
Yeah, domain. That's what I'm looking for. They had said that they do not believe any sensitive information had been leaked in the code, and it was not a targeted attack either. It was more of a net throwing a net into an ocean. Apparently, this is common with WordPress, the website they used before. They said that they're looking at avoiding this in the future. They know how it happens. They know the root cause of it. They are going to try to navigate around that, but they do recommend that anybody who had put their information into the old website to change their passwords if they're common across different channels. So, does anybody have anything to add? Anybody have any last minute additions, what they want to talk about to Ahoy, their introductions?
So I think just to like go back real quick. Oh, I'm sure I don't speak for the whole group, but at least for all of us in this room, the USCS wants to give a major shout out to Capstan Games, Tyler, Justin, Mahi, all those devs that are just working hard to get everything done. I know the timelines are kind of a pain in the butt as of recently, but they're still delivering, right?
Yeah, massive.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
You'll continue trying to answer the questions to take some stuff off your plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And personally, recently with this, the stress involved in getting these videos recorded and getting this stuff, because it got delayed at least 2 or 3 times. Of course, there was some backlash every time it got delayed, which is understandable. Um, One thing I have to say, and one massive props I have to give, is even during these stressful all-nighters, getting the website set up, getting the journal typed out, the videos recorded, they were still active in the community. They were still answering questions. They were taking all of the criticism right to the chest, and they were just, we're doing our best. They didn't break down. They didn't get upset. They didn't get frustrated. At least they didn't publicly get frustrated. And that's massive for a community. You know, understanding that things take time and understanding that, people are going to be unhappy once being able to move past that, that's that rising over the hill, going back down the other side of it. Once you figure that out, you're smooth sailing because you're not worried about that.
Oh
It
yeah.
does remind me of one thing I want to say. Tyler, get some sleep finally, please.
Please.
I mean, they have the patience of saints. I don't know if I could do that and the backlash. I don't know if I could ever do that.
I know.
I would just get mad.
Yeah.
Looks
Those-
like we have a question for the commandant and assistant commandant here.
I just read that.
Oh, you have eyes?
That is definitely the elephant in the room.
Yeah. To be straight up, I'm not entirely worried about it because the game's not even out yet.
Mhm.
And we're just kind of like our own individual gaming community within a gaming community.
I should specify the
Game
question
deception.
was, are you guys concerned about having so few members in the Marines? Continue, Eclipse.
Right now, not really. At least I'm not. Henry could speak for himself. But I'm just saying when the game comes out, then I'll really be on top of it because, by that time, hopefully, it'll be like, hey, we actually need these people right now. We need more for whatever positional stuff they have in the game itself.
Yeah.
It's like we're expected not to have that many members since the game's not out, and this is a sailing game. Marines aren't known for sailing ships unless we have
Yep,
to,
yep.
so that's why
That'd be
it's
a
so low.
chaotic ship.
Yeah.
And also, Wolf sometimes steals members. Parrish.
This is true.
I don't even try at this point.
Parrish
It's just
was converted. This is wrong in every way.
Parrish, it sound
We'll
like
talk
you
about
have
that.
something.
I was gonna say, and even then, like you guys saying when the game comes out, when open world comes out, is when like it's
Yeah,
that-
actually
yeah.
going to be.
Oh,
Mainly
yeah.
what I'm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
also
can
wanna-
foresee. Oh, sorry, Wolf. Go on.
I was gonna say Marine officers are also it historically there was one Marine officer pretty much on every ship unless it's a first rate. So it's honestly not that large of a concern for me right now because each ship just needs at least one Marine officer. Boom, done. The extras are just going to be helping out with supplementing that one Marine officer on that ship.
Yeah, that's the main thing I also think about is availability. Like, not everyone's going to be able to be on and whenever we are. And plus, we don't really know how it's going to work with the open world, for example, when it comes to Marines. At least I don't have that much info on it.
Yeah, because the
I
crew,
think you're in the dark.
most of your Marines are going to be AI, so not every officer. You just need one or two for the Marines.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I can foresee personally once our members realize that the main job of the Marines is boarding actions, um, going on amphibious assaults. I feel like that glorified perspective of what the Marines do would definitely be a massive draw for people who are interested in doing that because not everybody's going to want to sit on the ship while the Marines are having all the combat on the beach, you know? So I feel like
Yeah.
that whole perspective shift when Arena comes out would definitely be a big draw.
And there's also going to be people who are going to at the same time with people wanting to go out on shore with the Marines, you also have people who are going to be like, well, you need people to sail the ships to get the Marines there because the Marines are just going along with the Navy. And then there's the other part of the Navy is not going to be idle while the Marines are doing stuff. They're going to be providing bombardment support. They're going to be doing other things. So they won't just be idle.
Yeah,
We
looks
got
like
no
we have another
question.
question. Within
Goodness
open
gracious.
world, will the Marine groups primarily maintain port defenses, or would they attack in joint efforts with the Navy?
It will always be joint.
Yep, joint.
I mean, the Marines would not exist without the Navy, though I hate saying it. I'm just saying, though,
Yeah.
it will be integrated always. Because, of course we'll defend the ports. Of course we'll attack the ports. But we'll also help the Navy in whatever way, and the Navy will help us in any way. So
Yeah,
that's my
kind of
hope.
like the Army. We had to stay with the Navy.
Yeah, especially in the time period this game is going to take place at.
Oh yeah.
You're going to need to be transported to and from to be effective. You know,
We'll hate it, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to be cooking my dinner, and you're going to like it.
It's gonna be boring, but boring on the trip, but we'll have fun at the end.
What's the quote from
All
Master
right.
Commander? Subject to the requirements of the service? Basically like
Yes,
that.
exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for being here. We're going to wrap this up now. You've heard from Eclipse, Commandant Eclipse. You've heard from Assistant Commandant Henry and Chief of Staff Captain Parrish. You learned a bit about us, Wolf and I, on the last episode, and we just kind of talked about what our plan, how we were introduced to Ahoy. We talked a little bit about the website, the creation of the website, the creation of the videos, and tune in next time. Thank you.
Yippee!
Thank you. Have a good night.
It's fun.